Hynetic, a PvP server that brought back from Minecraft 3 of the most famous game mods. And today we'll see how good or bad it is. Hynetic is a server focused on 3 PvP game mods: Skywars, Survival Game, and Bedwars. You can even change server in order to play with less latency by choosing the closest server to you. You can freely explore the main hub to see the various work in progress paths and even attempting a parkour that, I don't know if this is possible or not. I think I simply don't know how to make this jump. It seems pretty doable. Anyway, after choosing a game, you'll be transported to a queue lobby in which you can interact with the players while you're waiting for the game to start. It is a concept that we already saw, but a very solid one. 3 out of 5 stars. Hynetic has a store where you can buy 3 ranks. Copper will give you a QA priority, notch at cooldown, and 2 weapons to use in the 2 game lobbies. Silver will give you the copper benefits, the ability to fly, and a dagger to use in lobbies. Gold will give you the silver benefits, plus poops to throw. Exactly what everyone wants! No pay to win for now, only a common way for the players to receive something in exchange for their support towards the admins. In Skywars and in Survival Game, only skill and RNG influence the outcome of a match. The chest contains gear from leather to iron, food and potions. Maybe there are a little too many of them, but it may only be my inexperience in the game that is talking right now. I already noticed that some weapons are far better than others, but of course this is due to the early alpha state of the game. The server can do nothing about it. However, in Skywars there are a couple of problems due to the player spawns. Some of them have an easier way to reach the center island than others, and this can easily result in your demise if you are not one of those lucky players. The center island of the winter map is very unfair due to its nature of being a natural fortress for the player who reach the top first. Some more brainstorming is needed to design those maps. Bedwars are obviously very much similar to the Minecraft ones, however these ones are a little slower and they actually encourage players to farm materials before going to battle. This is because you can buy very soon stone bricks to protect your bed, and they can be broken only by a player who has already got iron, because that's the only way to buy a pickaxe. With iron you can buy the strongest armor and sword, and because iron is usually close to your base, you can simply FK there a bit to gear up. At the center island you can find gold that can be used to buy the bow and the pie. You don't even need that much of it to buy those 2 items, so you can be fine only by visiting once the central island. A very great thing is that there are 2 copper pools in your base instead of as the single one we are used in Minecraft. This is an incredible feature that allows all team members to get materials without arguing with each other. Wool blocks can be broken with an hit. This is very useful when you want to switch your first defense with a stronger one, but even very dangerous when you approach someone on a wool path, because you're risking to be spliffed into the void. Another nice feature comes from the sturdiness of Hytale's bed. A player without an axe cannot break a bed that easily, preventing players from rushing other bases. Then we have an interesting fact that I believe is quite okay, but it might frustrate other players. In Hytale your punches don't have knockback, so if you are killed and rushed you have basically lost. To inflict knockback you need a weapon, without it you are literally meat on the grinder. However, I like it more in this way, because spending many resources on gears for then be pushed into the void by someone without nothing, it's quite unfair. Very funny, but truly unfair. In these Bedwars you have to carefully plan your next move in order to win a fight, and I kinda like it more than the one in Minecraft. I want to see this game mod updated in the future. Balance 4 out of 5 stars. Hynetic has 1 main lobby, 1 queue lobby, 3 custom maps for Skywars, 2 maps for survival games, and 2 maps for Bedwars. The main lobby is quite simple, but effective. The fountain, the path and the little tree shop need some adjustments, and it's a little too easy to climb over the invisible wall in order to look at the map limit. This is something that clearly shouldn't happen. The queue lobby is clearly incomplete due to being half empty, however the little village, the palm trees and the dock are doing their job. I don't have nothing to say about the survival game and Bedwars maps. They are pretty cool and well balanced to fight within. However, Skywars maps need more work. The copy-paste spawn for every player doesn't work in here. They should have 3 different spawn islands, at least 2. The center island is usually the most interesting one, but I would say these maps are the one that were neglected the most. Overall, the server has its own builds in here. It has a custom icon for every game mode, and it has a almost useful server notice board. Aesthetic 3 out of 5 stars. I enjoy PvP the most only when I know that I can give my very best in order to win, but to do so I still need a lot of practice on it. However, this rating is not related to me, but to the whole player base. This server is very enjoyable. You can log in and out easily, start a game very quick, and after 2 minutes max you are in the match. The game modes are the same born in Minecraft, but in Hytale they get under a different light due to all the mechanics that this game has compared to its predecessor. They are fun to play, and they can truly cultivate the instinct and skills of a player in terms of PvP. Enjoyment 4 out of 5 stars. Hynetic has what it takes to become a major server. What I can say is that they need to add more builders to their team in order to give more pleasure to the player size, and they should try to add new features to the game mods taken from Minecraft. I started only to scratch the surface of the asset editor, but I can see the gargantuan potential that every single server, world, mod and map can have. They should think less Minecraft and more Hytale for their future updates. I hope to see soon exclusive minigame for Hytale, and not only remake of the ones already existing in Minecraft, but as I always say, this is only the beginning of this journey. For everyone. Cois factor 3 out of 5 stars. With a total of 17 out of 25 stars, this concludes the review of Hynetic. If you want to see more, subscribe and leave a like to support the crew, and if you want to participate in our adventures, we are live every day on Twitch. Bye bye!